Sai Leela Masik, Ank 4, 1924. Khapar Day Diaries, continued. Second and long stay at Shirdi, dated 6/12/1911. Pages 17 to 18. As my Tonga came near the house newly built by Mr. Dixit, the first person I met was Mr. Madhavrao Deshpande. Before I got out of the Tonga, Mr. Dixit asked me to dine with him today. Then I went with Madhavrao to pay respects to Sai Maharaj and saluted him from a distance. He was washing hands and feet at the time. As I got busy washing and praying, I could not salute him when he went out. Later on, when we went to him in company and sat near him in the masjid, he told a story about having been with a fakir who was fond of good food. This fakir was invited to dinner party and went with Sai Maharaj. At the time of starting, the fakir's wife asked Sai Maharaj to bring some food from the feast and gave a pot for the purpose. The fakir fed so well that he decided to sleep at the place. Sai Maharaj returned with the food, tying the cakes to his back and carrying the liquid in the pot placed on his head. He found the way very long, lost his way, sat near a mangwada to rest a while. The dogs began to bark, and he got up and returned to his village and made over the cakes and liquid to the fakir's wife. By that time, the fakir also returned, and they had a very good feed together. He added, "It is very difficult to find a good fakir. Mr. Sathe, who built the wada in which I lived last year, is here, and I saw him first in the masjid and then at dinner. Mr. Dikshit fed a large number. Among them is Mr. Thosar, who is the sister's son of the late Madhavrao Govind Ranade. Thosar is employed in the customs office, Bombay. He is a very nice man, and we sat talking. There is a gentleman from Nasik, and there are many others. Among them, one Tipnis who came with his wife, and the latter was brought to bed of a son. Babu Sahib Jog is here, and his wife is doing well. Mr. Nulkar is dead, and I miss him very much. None of his family are here. Bala Sahib Bhate is here, and his wife gave birth to a son on Datta Jayanti Day. We are staying in Dikshit's Wada, which is very convenient. I slept well last night. My son and wife are doing well with Bhishma. Vishnu is also here. We fed a good many people today, and I fell into the proper routine of the place. I saluted Baba Sai Maharaj as he went out. Then after he returned to the masjid, and again in the evening, and later on again when he went to sleep in the chowdi. The bhajan pujan was a little less. After we returned from Chezarte, Bhishma had his usual bhajan, and Mr. Thosar also sang some verses, a few of his own composition and others of Kabir, Dasganu, and others. Dasganu's wife Baba, who was here last year, is now at her father's house. We sat talking until late at night. Madhavrao Deshpande told us at night that Dada Kelkar had a nephew by name Bapu. Sai Maharaj was very kind to him. This Bapu died, and Maharaj remembers him to this day. Mr. Mureshwar Vishwanath Pradhan, a pleader practicing at Bombay, came to see Sai Maharaj. On seeing his wife, Sai Maharaj said that she was the mother of Bapu. She got in the family way later on, and on the day of her delivery in Bombay, Sai Maharaj here said he had pains and that twins would be born and that one of them would die. So it happened, and when Mrs. Pradhan came here with her young son, Sai Maharaj took him on his lap and asked if he would come to the place, and the child of 2 months distinctly answered, "Who?" Dated 8/12/11. I forgot to mention yesterday and the day before that Upasini Vaidya that used to be at Amravati is here and saw me soon after my arrival. We sat talking. He told me briefly his story since leaving Amravati, how he went to Gwalior state, how he purchased a village, how it became non-paying, how he met a Mahatma, how he got ill, how he tried all remedies, applied to various sadhus and Mahatmas, how finally Sai Maharaj took him in hand, how he improved and is now under orders to stay here. He has composed a stotra of Sai Maharaj in Sanskrit. We all got up early and attended the Kakadati. It is very edifying. I prayed, bathed, and saw Sai Maharaj go out, and then again after he returned, and once more in the afternoon. Sai Maharaj, looking at me, said, Ka Sarkar. Then he gave the general advice that I should live as God keeps me, and added that a man fond of his family has to bear many things, and told that the story of a rich man who starved until evening, cooked for himself, and ate a very rough bread, all on account of a temporary difficulty. We saw Sai Maharaj again in the evening and sat in the veranda of the house built by Dikshit. Two gentlemen from Bombay brought a satar and playing on it said bhajan. Mr. Thosar, whom I call Hazrat, also sang very beautifully, and Bhishma had his usual bhajan. Time passed away pleasantly until midnight. Thosar is a very pleasant companion. I had a long talk with my son Balwant, the Bombay men, and others about contemplation, etc. Dated 9/12/11. I was late in getting up and finishing prayer. Mr. Chandorkar came today with a servant. Many others also came, and some that were already here went away. Mr. Chandorkar is a very nice, simple man, very pleasant in conversation and plain in his dealings. I went to the masjid and sat long listening to things said there. Sai Maharaj was in a pleasant mood. I took my hookah there, and Sai Maharaj had a smoke out of it. He looked wonderfully beautiful at Aarti time, but dismissed everyone very soon after it. He said he would come to dine with me. He calls my wife Ajibai. On returning to our lodging, we learned that Mr. Dikshit's daughter, who was ill, passed away. The deceased dreamed a few days ago that Sai Maharaj kept her under neem tree here. Sai Maharaj also said yesterday that the girl was dead. We sat talking about the sad event. The child was only 7 years old. I went and saw her mortal remains. They were very beautiful, and the expression on her face after death was peculiarly charming. It reminded me of this picture of Madonna that I saw in England. The cremation took place behind our lodging. I attended the funeral and did not break fast until 4 p.m. Dikshit bore the blow wonderfully well. His wife naturally broke down under grief. Everybody sympathizes with her. In the evening, I went to the Chavdi to see Sai Maharaj, both at sunset and later on at Shez Aarti time. At night, I, Madhurao Deshpande, Bhishma, and others sat talking until late all about Sai Maharaj. Thosar got permission from Sai Maharaj to return Bombay. He will go tomorrow morning. Date 10/12/11. In the morning, before I finished my prayer, Dattatreya Chitnis, solicitor of Bombay, came. He was a freshman when I was a fellow in the college, so he is an old friend. He naturally sat talking of old days and so on. As usual, I saw Sai Maharaj as he went out, and later again when he returned and sat in his usual place. We all returned after Aarti. The breakfast was a little bit late, and after it I sat talking with Upasni, later on with Mr. Nana Sahib Chandorkar. He is the chief, if not the oldest disciple of Sai Maharaj. He is a very pleasant man, gave me his history as to how he came into contact with Sai Maharaj and made his progress. He wished to tell me the instructions he received, but people gathered and the thing could not be disclosed to the view of all. I made 2 attempts to see Sai Maharaj in the afternoon, but he was not in the mood to see anybody. I saw him in the evening near the Chowdi and had a long talk with Sathe Sahib, Chitnis, and others. There is one Gokhale come from Narsoba's Wadi. He says he was directed to see Narayan Maharaj of Kedgaon and Sai Maharaj. He sings very nicely, and at night I got him to sing a few bhajans. Mr. Nana Sahib Chandorkar returned to Thana today. Bala Sahib Bhate, who got a son a few days ago, lost him this evening. This was very sad. Sai Maharaj this afternoon prepared some medicine which he took. Dated 11/12/11. The prayer this morning was very, very pleasant, and after it I felt quite elevated. Then I sat explaining the first few verses of Panchadashi to Dattatreya Chitnis. He is a very nice man. Then we visited Sai Maharaj both as he went out and after he returned. He gave me the chilam very often and grapes that Radhakrishna Bai had sent. He gave the grapes twice to my son Balwant. in the afternoon, I heard that he was cleaning the masjid, so I did not attempt to go that side. All the people brought a deputation to Sai Maharaj to get rid of the plague. He advised them to clean the roads, sweep the tombs and burning and burial ghats, and to feed the poor. I spent the whole afternoon reading the daily papers and talking to Chitnis and others. Upasani is composing something. In the evening, we saw Sai Maharaj near Chowdi and again attended the Sage Aarti, after which Chitnis, his engineer friend, and another went away. Dated 12/12/11. I and Bhishma got up very early under the impression that the Kakad Aarti was about to begin, but we were early by about an hour. Later on, Megha came and we attended the Aarti. Then I prayed and sat waiting for Sai Maharaj to go out. I saw him then and again after he returned. He spent the interval in listening to the songs of Gokhale. He sings well. Today the breakfast was late as Megha could not get the leaves of Bela and had to go a long distance for them. So the midday puja was not finished until about 1:30 p.m. Sai Maharaj was in a very good mood and sat chatting and laughing. After breakfast, I lay down for a few minutes and then went with my people to the masjid. Sai Maharaj was in good mood and told a story. Taking up a fruit lying there, he asked me how many fruits were it was capable of producing. I replied, as many times thousands as there were seeds in it. He smiled very pleasantly and added that it obeyed laws of its own. He also told how there was a girl, very good and pious, how she served him and prospered. We got Udi about sunset and then stood opposite the Chowdi to see Sai Maharaj when he comes out for his evening stroll. We saw him and returned and sat listening to the bhajans of Bhishma, Gokhale Bhai, and one young man, Dikshit. Madhara Deshpande and Upasani were present. The evening passed very pleasantly. Date 13/12/21. I got up as usual, prayed, and wished to bathe, but hot water was not ready, so I came out and sat talking. I saluted Sai Maharaj as he went out and then had my bath. I read Panchadashi. Later on, I went to see Sai Maharaj at the masjid and returned after Aarti. About 4 p.m., I went with Balwant, Bhishma, and Bandu, who brought my hookah, and Sai Maharaj had a smoke out of it. Madhara asked for permission for me to return to Amravati, but Sai Maharaj said that he would decide about it tomorrow morning. He got all the people there out of the masjid and advised me very, very kindly in a truly fatherly way. At sunset, we went again and saw him opposite the Chowdi and later on attended the Shez Aarti. Then Bhishma had his Panchapadi earlier than usual. Bhai also sang a bhajan. Date 4/12/11. Wishing to go away, I got up early, attended the Kakad Aarti, and praying somewhat in haste, went to Sai Maharaj at the masjid with Madhura Deshpande. Sai Maharaj said that I could go tomorrow or so, and added that I should serve God alone and no one else. He said what God gives is never exhausted, and what man gives never lasts. Then I returned and saw Durvesh Sahib Falke of Kalyan arrive. He is very nice gentleman of the old sort. Mr. Shingne and his wife are with him. Mr. Shingne is a high-class vakil of Bombay and has a law class also. I attended the midday puja and had my breakfast with Bapu Sahib Jog. After it, I lay down and fell asleep. I went to the masjid a little late and then made my namaskar near Chowdi. Then I sat talking with Durvesha Sahib and Shingne. Later on, Bhishma and had his daily bhajan. Dated 15/12/11. In the morning, after prayer, I sat talking with Mr. Shingne and Durvesh Falke. He is also called Haji Sahib. He had traveled to Baghdad, Constantinople, and Mecca, and all places near about. His conversation is very pleasant and instructive. Sai Maharaj likes him very much, sends him food, and otherwise treats him with great consideration. I saw Sai Maharaj go out and again at the masjid on his return. He was in a very pleasant mood, and we all enjoyed his conversation. After meal, I lay down for a while and then sat listening to an account of Delhi read by my son Balwant. Then we went to the masjid, received the blessings of Sai Maharaj, and later on went for Shez Aarti. Date 16, 12, 11. I find I've got a severe cold. I could not get up in time for Kakadati. I got up at 3 a.m. and then overslept myself. After prayer, I sat talking with Durvesh Sahib Falke, whom they call Haji Sahib and Hajrat indiscriminately. He is a karma margi, as we should call him in the Hinduism, and has numerous anecdotes to tell. I saw Sai Maharaj go out, and later on, after he returned to the masjid, he was in a very pleasant mood and sat talking and joking. After Aarti, I returned to our lodging and had food and lay down a while but could not sleep. From Amravati, they sent me, besides the Amrit Bazaar Patrika, 2 numbers of Bombay Advocate, so there was a good deal to read. There was also a telegram offering a sessions case. 3 days ago, there was a telegram offering the case at Varda. I declined it as Sai Maharaj did not grant permission to return. About today's telegram, the result was the same. Madhura Deshpande asked for permission for me, and Sai Maharaj said, I might go the day after or a month hence. So the matter is settled. I saluted him as usual in front of the Chowdi, and after Aarti in the Vada sat listening to Bhishma's bhajan. Among the new arrivals today is Mr. Hate, who has appeared for LMNS. He is a very nice young man. His father was judge at Amreli and later on Diwan of Palitana. I think I knew his uncle. Date 17, 12, 21. After prayer, I saw Sai Maharaj go out, and then again after he returned. He was in a very good mood and we enjoyed very much the jokes made by him. The breakfast was late as Meghraj had gone out to bring bay leaves. He came back a little late in the afternoon. I sat talking with Haji Sahib Falke, Dr. Hate, Mr. Shingne, and others. Gokhale went away today. Towards evening, I went to masjid, but Sai Maharaj asked me and my companions to bow from a distance. He, however, called my son Balwant near and told him to bring Dakshina. We all saluted him opposite the Chowdi and again at night at Shehzadi. Tonight, Sai Maharaj sleeps at Chowdi. Dated 18/12/11. My throat is better today than it was yesterday. After prayer, I sat talking with Mr. Shingne, Vaman Rao Patil, and Durvesh Sahib, whose full name would appear to be Durvesh Haji Muhammad Saddiq of Kalyan. I saw Sai Sahib go out and later went to the masjid. When he returned, he said I had filled my bucket, was enjoying the cool breezes of the neem tree, and was enjoying myself while he was enduring all manner of trouble and had no sleep. He was in a very pleasant mood and many people came to worship. My wife also came. We returned after midday aarti and after meals sat talking with Haji Sahib, Bapu Sahib Jog and others. Towards evening, we went to masjid and sat near Sai Sahib, but there was not much time as it was approaching evening, so he gave us leave and we stood in front of the Chowdi and as usual saluted him there. Returning to our lodging, I sat listening to Bhishma's bhajan. Date 19/12/11. In the morning, I got up early, felt fresh, prayed and felt that I was better all round. Sai Maharaj went out while I was yet praying, so I could not see him. Later on, I went to the masjid and found him in a very pleasant mood. He said there was a rich man who had 5 sons and a daughter. These children effected a division of the family property. 4 of the sons took their shares of movables and immovables. The 5th son and the daughter could not take possession of their share. They wandered about hungry, came to Sai Baba. They had 6 carts laden with jewels. Robbers took away 2 of the 6 carts. The remaining 4 were kept under the banyan tree. At this point, Trimbak Rao, whom Baba calls Maruti, interrupted, and the story ran in a different channel. After the midday aarti, I returned to the lodging, had food, and sat talking with Durvesh Sahib. He is a very pleasant man. Vaman Rao Patil went away today. Ram Maruti Bua came in the afternoon. He danced and jumped about a good deal during bhajan. We saw Sai Maharaj in the evening and again at Shehzadi time. Ram Maruti Bua attended Bhishma's bhajan and danced and jumped. Sai Baba this afternoon went out towards Neemgao, visited Dengle, cut a tree and came back. Many went after him with musical instruments and escorted him home. I did not go far. Radha Krishnabai came to near our vada to greet Sai Sahib, and I saw her for the first time without the big veil. Date 2012-11. I got up very early in the morning and went to Kakad Aarti. Towards the close of the Aarti, I noticed Vaman Rao there with surprise and learned that he, on the way near Kopargaon, sent the driver of his car to purchase guavas, and the bullocks ran away. He wandered about and had a good deal of trouble. The story was very amazing. Sai Maharaj left Chavdi without any audible remark except that Allah is the Lord of all. I returned to the lodging, prayed, and saw Sai Maharaj got out. And again, on his return to masjid, he was in a very pleased mood. Durvesh Sahib told me that Sai Baba saw him at night and granted his wish. I mentioned this to Sai Maharaj and he said nothing. I today shampooed the legs of Sai Maharaj. The softness of his limbs is wonderful. Our meal was somewhat late. After it, I sat reading the papers received today. Towards evening, I went to the masjid, received Sai Baba's blessings, saluted him in front of Chavdi, and returned to my lodging. We had Bhishma's bhajan attended by Ram Maruti Bua and Ramayan read by Dikshit. Date 21/12/11. I got up as usual, prayed, and sat talking with Durvesh Sahib. He said he had a vision in which he saw 3 girls and a blind woman knock at his door. He asked them who they were, and they replied that they had come to amuse themselves. Thereupon he ordered them on pain of being kicked and began a prayer. The girls and the old woman ran away on hearing the words of the prayer. He then blessed all in the room and in the house and the whole village. He asked me to ask Sai Sahib. When I went to see the latter on his return to the masjid, and before I was fairly seated, Sai Sahib commenced a story. He said he was beaten last night by something on his private parts and hands, that he applied oil, wandered about, had a stool, and then felt better near the fire. I shampooed his legs, and on my return told the story to Durvesh Sahib. The answer was clear. After the midday aarti, I sat reading Bhavat Ramayan, and then later on Sai Sahib near the Chavdi, and later on again at Sheiz Aarti at Chavdi. Then we had Bhishma's bhajan and Ram Maruti's gesticulations. Later still, Mr. Dikshit read Ramayan. Date 22/12/11. I got up early in the morning to go to Kakad Aarti, but in consequence of a remark made by Madhurao Deshpande, I thought of not going. But later on, Madhurao himself went and I accompanied him. Sai Maharaj was particularly pleasant looking and went quietly to masjid. We all saluted him when he went out, and again after he returned to masjid, Shingne and Durvesh Sahib made an attempt to go today, but Sai Maharaj did not give the necessary permission. Durvesh Sahib got ill and I had fever. Dr. Hate treated him. I think I have mentioned before that there is one Tipnis staying here with his wife. She is ill and Dr. Hate has been doing all he can for her. Ram Maruti Maharaj is also here for her. She had a fit in the evening, but it turned out to be an obsession. Dikshit, Madhurao Deshpande and others went to see her. She is possessed by the former owner of the house in which she lives and by 2 Mahars. The owner declared that he would have killed her, but that Sai Baba ordered him not to. The Mahars are also kept away by Sai Baba. When Tipnis threatened to move his wife to this vada, the spirits prayed earnestly and asked him not to do so. The spirit said Sai Baba would beat them. There was a Bhishma's bhajan as usual, and later on Ramayana by Dikshit a little before midnight. Date 23/12/11. I got up early enough in the morning but fell asleep again and then got up very late. On coming down, I found that Shingne, his wife, and Durvesh Sahib had obtained their permission to return to their homes. So they left, the former to Bombay and the latter to Kalyan. Durvesh Sahib is obviously very much advanced spiritually, as Sai Maharaj came as far as the breach in the wall to see him off. I miss him very much as we used to have long talks. Mr. Mantri, solicitor of Bombay, came yesterday with his family, 4 brothers and a number of children. He is a very nice man, and we sat talking. Mr. Mahajani, whom I met last year, came today and brought very good fruits and globes of glass for Sai Baba's lamps. Mr. Govardhan Das of Bhaindar is also here. He brought very good fruit, silk curtains for Sai Maharaj's improved room in the Chowde, and new dresses for volunteers who carry the umbrella, chamars, and fans. He is said to be a very rich man. There was a little meaningless disagreement between Madhura Deshpande and my wife and my son about living in Dikshit's Vada. Sai Baba said that the Vada belonged to himself and neither to Dikshit nor to Madhura. So the matter settled itself. I could not see Sai Maharaj go out, but paid my respects on his return to masjid. He gave me fruit and smoke out of his chilim. In the afternoon, I had a little sleep after meals and then sat reading the daily papers received today. Vaman Rao Patil has passed his LLB. I wish Dr. Hate had passed also. Sai Maharaj says he will get very good news. Tipnis has changed his lodgings and his wife is better. She is not so restless as she used to be. Ram Maruti Bua is still here. We went to Shezarti. The procession was very impressive and the new curtains and dresses look very nice. I enjoyed it very much. What a pity I have it not in my power to make rich presents of the kind. God is great. At night, Bhishma had his bhajan and Dikshit read Ramayana.